Hi. So today I wanted to show you how you can do 90s brows without over plucking, because 90s brows are like totally coming back in. I'm super into them right now, but nobody wants to over pluck and lose all those brow hairs. Trust me, you don't want to do it. So I'm going to show you two different looks on my brows. I'm going to show you how I get 90s brows, but how I can also get like super duper fluffy brows. We're going to do them both. So the first thing that you want to keep in mind, especially when you are thinking about plucking, is like I recently shaped my brows. Before that, I was just actually I did it for that Euphoria when I did the Maddie look. Before that, I was just letting them grow. Like they were just going. So I recently shaped them, and the way that I shaped them, I can link a video somewhere. It's just kind of like filling them in with a really dark pencil and being like, okay, what's the exact shape that I want? And then I just kind of like pluck around the outside of that. Yeah, I have these little Japanese tweezers, which are amazing. They're so precise and tiny. Anyway, my brows are like relatively plucked right now, as much as I like want them to be. But when you are trimming or plucking for like a 90s style, you kind of just want to make sure that you're following a little bit more of an arch. You don't want to get that like fucking sperm brow situation that we all used to do. Like I used to like have this be really big and I would pluck in here and then the whole tail would just be like nothing. Don't do that. Don't over pluck, just shape. And if you can't do it, get them threaded or whatever, waxed or whatever people do. I don't really do that. But just like, you know, clean up the stragglers is basically what I'm trying to say. You know, and if you have super huge brows, then you can pluck them in just a little bit, bring them in just like a little bit. You definitely do not need to pluck them like crazy or over pluck them. So I'm gonna start off with my 90s brow. The brow pencil that I have been loving is the one by Refi or Refi. This is in the shade dark. I believe she has 3 of them. It's super precise. It's got a little spoolie situation. Yeah. So the trick is to focus the color in the center of the brow, in like the very center of the brow. Because I could fill this whole brow in and it would end up looking like relatively thick. So I'm going to start in the center of the tail since most of my color is in here. And then I'm gonna slowly kind of like bring that out. So the more we darken this area, like the more you draw attention there, and then like whatever is on the outside, you can't even really see it, you know, depending on your brow hair, obviously, color. And I'm just going to extend that a little. And then as I get in here, I'm just gonna use a slightly lighter hand and just kind of like feather, just so we have a cohesive color. And I think 90s brows were relatively soft in the front, in my opinion. So I'm gonna use the spoolie, and I'm gonna like very gently brush that out. And instead of brushing up or down or anything like that, I'm gonna take it sideways, like just going angled across. So we're just kind of softening that color a little so it's not like super heavy on the skin. And we're kind of going just like the way the hairs grow. Now I'm actually gonna use the same brand. I'm just gonna call it Refi. This is the Brow Sculpt, which is a brow gel, which is actually meant to like really comb your brows up. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to run it through my hairs just to kind of like keep them in place. So once again, rather than brushing them up, I'm gonna kind of take them just like straight to the side. And this is just to make sure that they don't move. And I want to like kind of accentuate the thin brow. Okay, so this is what I would refer to as my 90s brow. Now you can also use a concealer or something to just like thin them out a little bit more if you feel like certain areas have gotten a little bit thick. So I'm gonna pick up just a little bit of concealer on a flat brush. This is the Refer 21 brush. And I'm mostly gonna focus this on the lower part of my brow, on my brow bone. And I'm just gonna bring that up, kind of covering the lower hairs. Okay, Now I want to show you how you can do a fluffy brow using the exact same brows. So I'm going to go in with my Dr. Bronner soap. It's a bar of soap. I just spritz it with a little bit of water or a setting spray and pick it up with a spoolie, kind of creating a paste. And I'm going to go in, and first I'm going to go against the brow hairs. So I'm going to push them in so that I'm coating them super evenly. Now I'm going to brush them up, straight up, and then as I get to the center, I'm going to start brushing them like up and out. You can go in with a pencil before this if you want to, like create more shape or whatever. I'm just going to let this set, and then I'm going to go in with a brow pen. So my favorite brow pens are the ones by NYX. It's the brow tint pen, I believe. I literally have them in every single color. I don't know what I'm feeling today. Ash brown, maybe? So once that's set, and you just want to wait for it to set so that like it doesn't fuck up your brow pen, you know? I'm going to just go in and fill in the sparse areas with the brow pen. These are amazing because it's so and precise, and you can literally draw in individual hairs. So I can make my hairs look like my brows look like super full, you know? So I'm just gonna start laying this in. And if you hold it more like this, you're gonna get a nice like precise flick. If you hold it more like this, more product is gonna come out. You're gonna get a thicker fill. So I do kind of like somewhere in between. Once again, focusing on the outer part of the tail, that's where it's the most sparse. And if you kind of just like go a little bit outside on either end, it's really gonna make them look full. Literally using the lightest hand. So funny. All right, guys, that's it. I just wanted to show you that you don't have to overpluck your brows like crazy to get a 90s brow. I've been super into this recently. I kind of feel like it just makes me look a little bit more like badass and also feminine, but I also love a full brow. Like I love a full brow. So I don't think full brows have gone out completely. If you have full brows, rock those bitches, okay? But if you're somewhere in between, you know, don't overpluck, don't sacrifice your brow hairs, because trust me, this shit's gonna come back in, okay? It goes back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, I hope this was helpful in some way. It's nice to be able to do like a bunch of different techniques, create a bunch of different looks using like the features that you have, you know? I don't know how to end this video. Which side do you prefer? I truly love them both. But this is definitely my vibe right now. Look at me. I'm a bitch. Here I'm like, I'm cute, I'm happy. I've got full brows. All right, guys, hope this was helpful in some way. Let me know, just let me know. Bye.